Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Do not be mad at me. It's the 17th of August and I'm now just filming my July wrap up and August TBR. Let's just go ahead and jump in. We can't be any more late than we already are. Start off things. We're going to be doing my July wrap up first. For my July wrap up, I read 2 romances, 1 thriller, 1 fantasy, and 1 literary fiction, which brings my total to 5 books read in the month of July. The first book that I finished was Ellen Hilderbrand's The Hotel Nantucket. I rated this a 3.5 star. Now looking back, I think I would rate it a little bit higher, maybe even a 4. I did enjoy this book. I think my problem was I was picking it up and putting it down, picking it up and putting it down, and when I don't binge a book or read it within a couple sittings, I tend to rate it a little bit lower than I would if I just binged it. Did that make any sense? Basically, if I don't binge a book, I rate it a little bit lower. I like my books when I binge them. Basically, The Hotel Nantucket is about our female main character who is recently divorced and, oh no, I think they were engaged. Like I said, it's the middle of August, so I kinda don't remember too many details about these books, but she breaks up with her boyfriend and becomes the manager of the Hotel Nantucket. This hotel has suffered tragedy and has gone through a lot of owners. And so this billionaire buys the hotel, hires her as a manager, and you kind of get to go through each employee's perspective of things. Also, there's a ghost character that you get to see and follow along with. So I would rate that a 4 star, I'm pretty sure. Then the next book I read was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is an enemies to lovers fake dating book. It's about our 2 characters, who is the brother of a groom and the sister of the bride, and everyone gets sick at the dinner of the wedding except for our 2 main characters, and they are going on their on the couple's honeymoon instead of the couple, and it's like them learning that they actually don't hate each other on this trip. And then we have Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This was, I rated The Unhoneymooners a 4 star as well. It's a very common rating for me. And then I read Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I loved this book. I really couldn't put it down. I rated it a 4 and I read it in a total of 3 days, majority being the first day, and then I just got a little bit busy. But this is about Lily and Lo, and the last 3 years they've been faking a relationship to keep their addictions a secret from their family so that they still have access to their family's wealth, and they go from fake dating to realizing that maybe they do love each other. And then the thriller I read was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This was my first thriller and I am so glad that I read it. I rated it a 4 star because I didn't really have anything to compare it to. But since this book, I have read quite a few, I would say, thrillers. And then the fantasy book I read was Maximum Ride by James Patterson. I read this with Sloan and Kyrie's Fable Book Club, House of Nostalgia. I remember watching the movie and really loving it when I was a kid, and I feel like I would have enjoyed this book if I read it when I was a child, rather than me reading it now. I think James Patterson wrote this for a kid, but I don't think it was written that well because, you know, Harry Potter is written for kids, but I love Harry Potter still. And I got bored a little bit in the beginning and the middle of the book. Towards the end, when things started to pick up, I enjoyed it. That's why I did rate this book a 2.5, 3 star. 2, 3, 4, 5. I read 6 books. I don't know what I'm thinking. I read 6. The next book I read is Manacled by Senlin Yu. This is a Harry Potter fanfiction, Hermione love story. This book replaces what happens in the last two books and creates its own story of what has happened during the war. It's so well written, and it made me feel things that I did not feel. It made me feel the exact opposite of what I felt in Harry Potter with certain characters and things that had happened, and it is so tragically good, and it's like it's amazing. It is amazing. I rated it 5 stars. Okay, so that is all the books I read in July. I'm hoping to have a much better month this month. Spoiler, I already am. Some of these books I have already read, but I'm still putting them on my TBR, so I feel accomplished. And I've had this TBR set aside for, I think I set it aside the first month of August. I just haven't gotten around filming this video. So let's go ahead and get right into my August TBR. Just to break things down for you guys again, I have 8 romances, 1 fantasy, 3 literary fictions, and 1 mystery thriller, which brings my total of books I want to read in August to 13. We have a new release by Lauren Asher, Love Unwritten, which also takes place in Lake Wisteria. It is about a single dad who needs someone to teach his child music. That's where Ellie comes in, watches the son, and also teaches him music. And I love single dad romances. Small town. Lake Wisteria is a small town, and I cannot wait to read this book. Then we have Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone. This is about a girl who is popular in high school. She has OCD, but she hides it from everyone. That is her biggest secret. And she meets a girl who teaches her or shows her Poets Corner, which is a group of kids who go into the basement of their high school and they write poetry and share it, and it does change her life. So it's about her and how she kind of finds herself through poetry. And then I have Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I haven't read the first book in this, but I don't know if I should read the first book or this one first. So I think this one is second chance, wrong place, right person kind of book. And then we have another Ellen Hildebrand book, The 5-Star Weekend. This one is about Hollis, whose husband is killed in a car accident after a big fight. She gets together her friends and someone creates the perfect 5-star weekend for them, and they go to Nantucket to live it out. Then we have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is about, I think this is time travel in it or something. She goes to her aunt's apartment and it goes 7 years in the past where this guy is living in it, and I think they kind of have a romance together. A Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I read Yours Truly before A Part of Your World, but now I am getting to A Part of Your World. This one is about Daniel and Alexis. Daniel is the mayor of a small town and Alexis is a big shot doctor, and they meet after she hits a raccoon and then he pulls over and helps her. Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. This is about Emma and Justin, who both believe they are cursed because every time they break up with someone, the other person goes on to meet the love of their life. So they figure that they can date and then break up and they both will fall in love with another person and meet their love. The Way I Used to Be. This is about a high school girl who something happened to, and I'm assuming this is like her healing process. So if I want to cry, I will read this. And then I have 2 Annabelle Monaghan books. Summer Romance, which is about a single mom who meets a younger guy and it's about their fling for the summer. Same Time Next Summer, and this one is about Sam, who is engaged to a doctor, but then her first love pops up. Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This is the first book in the Rose Hill series, which comes after Chestnut Springs. This one is about Willa's brother, Ford Grant, who Forbes labeled the world's hottest billionaire. And it's also about Rosie, who is his best friend's little sister. The Housemaid's Secret. This is the second book in the Housemaid trilogy. This follows Millie, also A Light in the Flame, which is our only fantasy book, and it's the second book in the Flesh and Fire series. I read the first book a year ago, I think. Those are all of the books that I read in July and want to get to in August. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love watching these types of videos, and we will see if I can keep to my goal of reading all of these books by the end of August. We have a week-ish, a little bit more than a week left. 13 days, I think. Oh, so we have like close to 2 weeks. Hopefully I can get all of these read. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon.